Good day, evening, afternoon, whatever bloody time it is, wherever you are. It's bloody late where I am. It's creeping up on 2 in the morning. For the last little while, I've been planning a trip to Iceland to do some bike packing. And honestly, it's been a bit nerve-wracking in a lot of ways. And I had a wee sit down and I made a wee video and I had some thoughts. And, well, that's me just sharing them here. The crux of this, the crux move, if you're familiar with climbing jargon, is I've watched a lot of videos over the years about bike packing, bike touring, this kind of adventure, man. And, it's very rarely conveyed, I think, the grit, the dirt, the nastiness, the fucking of it. And of doing these things and facing your fears to a certain degree. Because I've never, the trip I'm about to take on is the longest, it's the furthest I'll ever have cycled in a month. It's in a country I've never been to before. It's inside the bloody Arctic Circle. Alright, it's summer, but it's still Iceland, and odds are the temperatures will probably still drop to about 5 degrees. So I will be camping in what is functionally speaking, for me, winter. And I've done a lot of planning. Well, I say I've done a lot of planning. I've tried my best to do as much planning as I possibly can to put myself a bit better at ease. But there's no amount of planning I can do that will completely release me from all of what is going to happen over the next month with this trip. What will happen, and I will have to adapt to that. And that's perhaps the most nerve-wracking part of it. However, fucking hell, we all die. And I think it's very important, at least for me, and I'm sure there's some of you watching this that will agree, that will relate to this, and I'm sure there's some of you will be like, you're fucking mad, mate. Adios. But I'm sure there's some of you watching this, and you'll get what I say, you'll get what I mean when I say this, but that fact alone, that, this just ends. Like, we'll get one of those, and at some point, it'll stop ticking. We'll be done. That's it. One day to the next, gone. A wee spark. Disappeared. You're fucking dead. Once you're dead, you're dead. Maybe there's an afterlife. Maybe there's not. Who bloody knows? But I think it's a fairly safe bet that there's probably not. Probably just that we're sentient meatballs floating around on this planet, getting worried about potholes, traffic, whether or not somebody fancies you. It's fucking mad. See if you actually think about it. You think about that fact for long enough, you can go a bit mad. Trust me, I've done it. It's a bit mental. But my reflections over the years, despite the fact that they have probably a few times driven me a bit closer to fucking mentalness than maybe was optimal. In all honesty, they have improved and elevated my life in a lot of ways. And one of those reflections is, well, of course, the fact that this all ends. Amor fati. If you want to get all Latin and esoteric about it, love your fate. Love it. Don't just accept it, but love it. And I think one of the parts of loving the fact that life is finite is embracing all of those little challenges that you possibly can. Now, don't get me wrong, going to Iceland and cycling around there for a month is a bit bigger than a regular challenge. It's not actually something I have to do, but it's one of those funny things, right? It's like there's certain things you just have to do to a greater or lesser extent. Like, you kind of have to go to work. You're going to make some money and pay some bills and shit like that. You don't have to go to Iceland. You don't have to run a marathon. You don't have to write a novel. You don't have to love somebody. You don't have to do so many things. But it's all those things that you don't have to do that I think make life worth living. That make it worthwhile. That make it beautiful. That make it horrible and beautiful at the same bloody time. And my invitation to you would be, if you feel life is maybe not what you thought it would be, or what you wanted it to be, as I've felt it sometimes in my life, because it's all a big fucking mad mystery and it's wild, and sometimes it's just like, what the hell's going on here, lads? Is find something that kind of scares the shit out of you a bit. Find something that's on the edge of your... It's not, I mean, I can't claim ownership of this idea. It's not novel. It's not new. It's just me presenting it in my thoughts and the way that I've had it in my head for the last couple of days, as I have a bit of, honestly, a bit of apprehension, a bit of fear towards this trip. Is embrace things that scare you a little bit. It will make you grow. It will make your life better. It will make you a more rounded person. It will help you to discover aspects of yourself that you never knew existed. It will, in many ways, beautify your life. And that should be enough. Good luck with it, lads. Peace.